So hello and welcome back to the Road to Cheltenham Challenge, episode 8, Andrew Blair-White. We're back again. I want to wish everyone a happy new year and yourself. And I suppose 10 weeks left of this show before the Cheltenham Festival.
Yeah, exactly. It's beginning to hot up now post-Christmas. We've had a lot of clues. I see a lot of Ante-Post books looking pretty good down in the comments. So hopefully this is where we separate the men from the boys in the lead up to Cheltenham.
Andrew, performance of the weekend, what was it for you?
Yeah, well, geez, I thought the Willie Mullins bumper horse yesterday was fairly good. This horse in the Mulrine Silks, look, everyone was looking at Ginto in that race. Yeah, what do you want? This Ginto was very highly regarded. There's no getting away from that. I saw there was actually a bit of a gamble on him for the champion bumper before the off. He went from 33s into 16s. He just needed like a trip is where we're going to see the best out of him. Probably 2.5 miles over hurdles, 3 miles over fences. But there was a fair bit of speed in this Mullins horse. Patrick Mullins rode him very confidently. I can't remember Willie Mullins having that many horses with the Mulrines. You might remember some that I can't.
No, it's the first. I think Willie has so many horses now for the bumper. We went through them every time we do the show. Andrew, we seem to mention a new Willie Mullins horse for the bumper. There was something about the way he did it. You know, I suppose it was a slow run bumper. It looked like they were all kind of in a bunch. The way he just travelled up and showed it, he looked a bit green as well when he hit the front. He kind of, I suppose it was only when Patrick actually gave him a smack that he straightened up and ran through the line. He looks like the sort that would he come back maybe to Leopardstown at the Dublin Racing Festival. I know Ramirez was very impressive at Leopardstown, and I think Willie mentioned that he'd bring him there. But of all the bumper horses, he's the one that he just looks like to have a lot of untapped potential. The rest of them just won on the bridle, but I just loved the way when he did get a smack, he ran through the line. He went away from the horses and won very snug in the end. And because it was a slow run race, I just think there could be a lot of improvement to come from this fella. What do you want? Yeah, as you said, for Willie Mullins, he was actually my performance of the weekend as well. Just the beginner's chase, I thought was an interesting race, Andrew, because I think when we texted each other earlier on today, and I was saying I suppose we like to leave a lot of it up for surprise, and I was asking you what trainer trains your horse, and we're not going to say it now, but Cocoa Beach was a horse that I had looked at for a potential handicap at the festival. I thought that this beginner's chase, I think Milan Native ran in the last year, and it just, there's a couple in here. Forza Milan, I thought he won the race, and I know that he done his best Champ impression, came from the absolute clouds, and I know he ran the 4-miler last year. Just be interesting to see where he might go. That's for James Nash. But Cocoa Beach was done a lot right. He was out in front over a trip I don't think was ideal. 2.5 miles on heavy ground. I think as he goes up in trip, he's going to be better. And potentially I have my eyes on him for something like a Kim Muir. That's Cocoa Beach. Andrew Blair-White, run through the selections to date.
Yeah, well, we've unfortunately had a couple of knocks now this week to some of my selections. Some of them look good. Nasalam 25-1. He's in 16s. Wide receiver 25-1 any race. I think he's into as short as 6 or 7-1 any race now. We've had a few blows. Delvino got beaten there on the weekend, put up for the Mayor's Novice. Can't see her winning a Mayor's Novice now. Dusart, I think, is out of Cheltenham for the Supreme, which obviously was a bit disappointing, although I probably would have gone off him considering Appreciated has now established himself as a 2-miler. And a few other decent ones in their latest exhibitions come in price now. Since running well behind Monkfish, I think he's got a decent each-way chance. He's now 10-1. So there's a few decent ones in there, a few that have gone by the wayside. But as you said earlier, Brave Man's Game put up at 16-1 into, I think, 7-2, 4-1 in places is probably the standout of all of them.
I think that's the standout selection of all of us so far, Andrew Blair-White. A shrewd pick from yourself. Just to go through my ones, Eldorado Allen, we're going to move on from that one swiftly. That was 20-1 for the Arkle. MacFabulous 12-1. We didn't get to see him in the Relkeel Hurdle. Andrew, when is that meeting going to be run now?
I think the main races are being kind of divvied out. So the Relkeel is being run at Kempton, I think, in a week's time or so, which I suspect 2.5 2.5 miles at Kempton, McFabulous would probably be a certainty.
Yeah, might come back into the picture. He's drifted out to now. I think there's 25 to 1 available. McFabulous for the Stayers. He was put up at 12 when myself appreciated. 12 to 1 for the Ballymore. Looks like he's going supreme, but we just couldn't be sure, I suppose, just yet. Champ, I think he is set for the Cotswolds Chase, 12 to 1. He's in there for the Gold Cup. And Arjamain, 10 to 1, any race at the festival, I suppose, has options of the Arkle and the Marsh. Kescon Risk, 25 to 1. It's only when you read them out loud, Andrew Blair-White, you start getting a little bit. 25 to 1 for the Supreme Novices Hurdle. Would not, I suppose, you'd like to see him run at the Dublin Racing Festival. Maybe he could get a little bit closer to something like an Appreciated. Maybe the D-Light, what was known as the D-Light, might be a good option for him over 2 miles and 2 furlongs. Concertista at 9 to 2 for the Mayor's Hurdle. I'm quite happy on that now. She's 3 to 1 giant favourite. I think she might be shorter in a place for the Mayor's Hurdle. Obviously has Honeysuckle to beat, but I like her chances. She wears it well. Hopefully, I think she is back in training, and I'm hopeful that we will see her maybe late this month, early February. Monkfish, 3 to 1. That looks pretty good. That's a wildcard selection also. So Andrew, selection for this week. I'm majorly excited about mine. Let me know yours.
Yeah, well, mine comes in the any race market, and we were talking there about Cocoa Beach. I've selected a horse probably with a similar enough profile. I think he'll either run in the Kim Muir or the National Hunt Chase, trained by Gordon Elliott, owned by Gigginstown. And it's a horse called Run Wild Fred, who I'm putting up at 10 to 1 any race. He's 10 to 1 with both Skybet and William Hill any race. Last time I checked, he was anyway. He came second in a beginner's chase there on New Year's Day, behind Longhouse Poet, actually, of Martin Brazzels, who's a decent enough horse. He's had beginner's chase form with latest exhibition. He was only beaten 3.5 lengths by latest exhibition in the beginners. He won a Grade 3 novice hurdle last year, so we think he's got a bit of class. I can't have this Galvin for the National Hunt Chase at all. No. I think he's a wise guy's horse at this stage. It wouldn't surprise me if Gordon actually unleashes something like Run Wild Fred in the race that could run well, or if he gets feasibly handicapped, he could run in the Kim Muir. Of near enough top weight, I suspect, but yeah, you probably put Rob James on him claiming 5 or claiming 7, and it'd be similar enough to Milan Native. I think he's got a good chance. He will be running in one of those races. I think 10 to 1 is probably a fair price, any race on Run Wild Fred.
How many handicaps did Gordon Elliott win at the festival last year? How many should he have won? Call him a fire.
Yeah, well, I don't know how many did he win, but geez, it did seem like he had great chances in all of them, and he does target these handicaps. There's no getting away from it. So I know I've put up wide receiver earlier in the year for one of these handicaps, and I'm now going to the well again with the Gordon and Gigginstown duo.
Yeah, you'll be hoping that Ashdale Bob comes out maybe this week at Naas, maybe in Frank's the form for a wide receiver. Looks to have a cracking chance, Andrew. I think that might. I spoke about Brave Man's Game. That's probably an even better one, to be fair to you. Wide receiver, 25 to 1. I know it's any race, but I think you had him earmarked for the Martin Pipe. Yeah, we were speaking about handicap masters. I suppose one man that is able to get one ready for a handicap at Cheltenham is the young Joseph O'Brien, and I'm majorly excited about this selection, Andrew Blair-White. I was going through the form last night. I suppose I was trying to identify races, and it's time to get my first handicap selection. And I'm not going any race. I'm actually going for the race itself. Going to build it up now. He's rated 135 over hurdles. In Tukas for the Grand Annual. Now, we have to, I suppose, the competition is, it has to be by 2 bookmakers. He's only priced up by the 2, so I'm going to take the 25 to 1 with William Hill, and I think he's cracking bed. He's managed to get his handicap mark of 138, and I emphasise that word "managed to." Listen, I think in any other year, Andrew, this horse could have developed into an Arkle contender. I think he's that good. I think he has at least a stone and a half in hand. He's come second in all 3 of his runs, unaccepted. He was given such a quiet ride down at Tipperary and finished second. I'm going to say managed to finish second. Just his jumping is very good for 2 miles. Joseph said he is going to keep him at 2 miles this season over fences. So the Grand Annual looks like the perfect target for him. On his second start this year, Black Bow, no disgrace. He was given a very quiet ride by Mark Walsh and ran on into second at Navan. Again, it's a track I'd always like my Cheltenham horses to be winning at. That's Navan. Oh, he didn't win, but he finished second. And then on handicap debut, off 138 at Fairyhouse, Sizing Potsy, who's now gone up to a mark of 155, and Tukas still off the same mark. Again, a quiet ride into second, 138. This horse is, I really think this is a plot job. 5-1. If this is what I think it is, I think that's going to look very big come the Friday at Cheltenham. And I often hear people saying that the ground is going to be drying up on the Friday of Cheltenham. I don't know where to get that of. How can we predict the weather for the final day? It could be dry on the first 2 days, and we could get a deluge of rain on the last 2 days. But if people like that theory, that he is running on the Friday and he won at Naas on good ground, his best form is on good ground. So he's been running on soft and heavy all winter. Of all my selections so far, I really think this is a plot job. And some people might look at his form and say second. I don't know many times the horse has finished second, but given a quiet ride each time this year, I think this horse, 138, a similar profile again to Chosen Mate, who won the race last year for Gordon Elliott, a novice. And, I think he was rated something similar. I think he ran off 147 on the day. So given, I suppose, what the English handicapper might do, 138, if he can preserve that in Ireland, which I'd imagine would be the plan, you're not going to be running off anything more, I'd say, in here than 145, which is a very good mark for this horse. And 25-1, I don't think you're going to see it next week on the show, based on the case I'm after making for it.
Well, I got absolute certainty. I've never seen a 25-1 for the Grand Annual look so good.
No, I like this horse. A very good jumper as well. I think that's key, obviously, over the 2 miles. So that concludes this week's show, Andrew. Anything else, I suppose, looking forward to this weekend? We'll be back on the podcast on Thursday. Yeah, exactly. Looking forward to the rescheduled Welsh National, and obviously that Lowlands and Ace race looks a proper good race as well. So hopefully we'll find a few winners on the podcast on Thursday.